Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now let's have a little update on what happened in Turkey or Turkey. As you probably know, the defense ministries, or at least some guys from the army, met over there, and there were the guys from Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, and United Nations without army. They showed up over there to discuss the grain corridor, that how they can facilitate the delivery to the rest of the world of the Ukrainian grain, you know, that the Russians blocked. And even though the Ukrainians have like 7 other options. So this is an article from the Voice of Ukraine from July 14th, 2022. It says, first Istambul meeting on Ukrainian grain exports gives hope for resolution of stalemate. And then I have another article from Reuters, Ukraine grain export deal seen within days. Woo-hoo! So get your fire burning. The grains are coming. All right, it says here, a quadrilateral meeting was held in Istanbul on July 13 on the issue of unblocking the Black Sea export of Ukrainian grain, in which representatives of Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, these guys did not, I don't like it because they say Turkey like a bird, instead of Turkey, now it's Turkey. We should be respectful. And the UN took part, reports Anadolu agency. Turkish Defense Minister Hulusi Akar said that the parties agreed on the establishment of a coordination center in Istanbul and agreed on, and I'm quoting, main technical issues, end quote, including joint control at points of departure and arrival, end quote. It was so illogical. Yeah, they're going to be all over them over there. They're going to see what's going on until they will disagree and start shooting one another. You'll see. You're going to say, oh, that's not a weapon. Yes, it's a weapon. No, that's grain. And no, it's not grain. Those are just ammunition. You'll see. No, I'm just kidding. Not. According to the official, the Turkish side sees that the parties are ready to solve the problem, end quote. He announced that another meeting of the Ukrainian and Russian delegations should take place next week, at which all details will be reviewed again and the final document will be signed. I think they will do it, no doubt about it. The problem is with the implementation of that, because they signed, not the Russians, but the other guys, the Minsk agreements, and nobody gave a damn about it. So, as reported by Reuters, citing sources among diplomats, the parties discussed the departure of ships with grain from the ports, accompanied by Ukrainian ships, on the condition that Russia agrees to a ceasefire during the movement of cargo, and Turkey, with the support of the United Nations, will inspect the ships to allay Russian fears over arms smuggling, so that to ease, I would say, Russian fears. Now, earlier, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Dmytro Kuleba, said that the negotiations regarding Russia's unblocking of Ukrainian ports for the Black Sea, disabling the export of grain from Ukraine, and has also prevented exports by rail. I think this is something Kremlin official demanded that the sanction imposed on Russia for the war against Ukraine be lifted in exchange for the unblocking of Ukrainian ports. Well, I don't think. Now, Ukraine worked with Romanians, if you remember, and they go through the Danube. They have over there a little Sulina arm of the Danube that flows into the Black Sea, and but it's only one way, so I don't know how that's going to work for these guys. But nevertheless, the one from Reuters, Ukraine grain export deal seen within days, it probably says the same thing. Here it says that some 20 million tons of grain sits in silos at Odessa port amid a Russian blockade. On Thursday, July 14, it seems a deal to resume exports could be done. Talks involving Ukraine, Russia, Turkey and the United Nations took place in Istanbul. Now, Turkish Defense Minister This guy said, we have seen an agreement has been reached on many technical matters, including establishment a joint coordination center carrying out joint controls at the entrance and exit of the harbors and ensuring the safety of the routes of the ships that will carry grain and other types of food. Turkey said an agreement will be signed next week. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres was more cautious, saying only that there were signs of momentum. There was no immediate comment from Moscow, but Ukraine's President Zelensky also said there was progress. A deal is seen as vital for global food security, with Ukraine and Russia both normally major exporters of wheat and other produce. The United Nations is also working to facilitate Russian grain exports, which have been hit as ship owners prove reluctant to operate in the region. So, food is coming. Food. Get ready. Nevertheless, a lot of carbohydrates. Well, you need them, I guess. So, I really did not have much doubt about that, but I'm how to say, not glad. Not surprised, but I'm happy. Let's put it happy. I'm happy that I don't see any, and I don't think it would have been possible, any British involvement, American involvement, French involvement, and I tell you why. No ships in the Black Sea, the Russians would shoot at them if they come closer. So I'm guessing they didn't want to deal with these guys, and probably that was the preconditions. I don't know. I'm just, the way I see how they talk to one another or don't talk to one another, they were just excluded, and obviously the problem is Zelensky will be influenced by those guys anyway. Now, they will not be legally involved in the document and all that, but Zelensky tomorrow can come and say, you know what, I changed my mind, like they did last time in I think it was Ankara or in Istambul. I can't remember where it was the last peace negotiations, I don't know, 3 months ago, when the Ukrainians said something and the next day after someone slapped them over the head like a buck. What the hell are you doing? Go back and tell them what we want you to say. So, and then they say, no, nothing. We forget about that one. So could be this one. Who knows what other things? Maybe they're going to say, oh, you want the Americans to be participating or whoever. It's very well doable, this export of grains, and I don't see why. Accidents can happen? You bet. You bet. Fingers pointed? You bet. But I hope it won't. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.